Now, we will learn the uses and harmful effects of microorganisms. Microorganisms can either be harmful or harmless for us. First, we will have a look on uses of microorganisms. They are used to make bread or curd. We can call curd a yogurt as well. Microorganisms can be used to prepare some medicines as well. Some of the microorganisms can use to produce vaccines. Yeast is an example of microorganisms. It is a fungus and is used to make bread. Some bacteria can be used to make cheese and yogurt. Some microorganisms can also be used to produce antibiotics. Now, let's learn the harmful effects of microorganisms. Some microorganisms that enter our body can cause illness. Eating food prepared with microorganisms can cause food poisoning. Bacteria can action the food remains between the teeth and this can cause tooth decay. Food turns bad because of bacteria and fungi. For example, fungus can be seen on the food which are kept out and not covered. Some microorganisms can cause some diseases. For example, it can cause chickenpox, coughing, sneezing, and cold. How do microorganisms spread from one person to another person? If we eat or drink someone's polluted food or drink juice, water, and other liquids items, it can spread disease from one person to another. During sneezing and coughing, if we do not cover our mouth, microorganisms can spread from one person to another. We must not directly contact someone while we should keep distance from others. Mosquitoes or flies carry some harmful microorganisms which can transfer microorganisms to us in our body. As I told you all, microorganisms can be found everywhere in water, air, or soil. So, microorganisms can also spread through the air. How to prevent diseases from spreading? To prevent disease, we have to follow some steps. If we have to keep ourselves prevent from diseases, we should take some actions. For example, wash your hands before handling food or especially after using the toilet. Drink water that has been boiled because boiling kills microorganisms. Cover your mouth when coughing or sneezing to prevent microorganisms from spreading into the air. Do not share your personal items such as toothbrush, towel, and comb with others. So, we are finished with our topic. I hope you all are clear with this lecture. Thank you everyone for hearing and listening to my lecture. Thank you. Hey everyone, I wish you all are doing good. I am pleasure to have you all here. My name is Miss Lare and this is our second virtual class of science arranged by Ecosystem for Success. Today, we are going to learn about microorganisms. I'm sure you are really going to enjoy this topic. Let's start our topic. Firstly, we will have a look on what are microorganisms. Microorganisms are two small organisms that we cannot see through our naked eyes. We can only see microorganisms through microscope. Anthony van Leeuwenhoek was the first scientist to discover or observe microorganisms using his self-made microscope. Microorganisms are also called microbes. It means we can call microbes microorganisms as well. So, the study of microbes is called microbiology. And scientists, those who study about microorganisms or microbes, are called microbiologists. Today, we will discuss about different types of microorganisms, which is bacteria, alga, fungi, protozoa, and viruses. Let's have a brief discussion on all these. Bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are the organisms which have single or only one cell. They are found almost everywhere on earth, that is, air. They are found in air, water, or soil. Some bacteria live in or on other living organisms, including plants, animals, and humans. Bacteria are simple in structure as they do not have nucleus or cell membrane. There are three types of bacterial shapes. Spirilla, which is in spiral shape. Bacilli, which is in the shape of rod. Cocci, which is in spherical shape. Moving on to alga. Alga can either be unicellular or multicellular. It means it can have only one cell or more than one cell. It can be present or found in moist soil. Moist soil which is said to be slightly wet. They have cell wall and chloroplast. Cell wall is the outermost membrane and chloroplast is contain green color which is used to prepare their own food. It means algae prepare their food by themselves. They do not have roots, shoots, and leaves as well, but are likely to be called plants. Having a look on fungi. Fungi are unicellular and multicellular both. They do not have chloroplast, but they are like plants because they make their own food. And also, fungi get their food from plants or animals. So, what is protozoa? Protozoa is a microorganism which is unicellular. It means it has a single cell. These protozoa microorganisms are found in fresh water and salty water. Protozoa are parasites. What is parasites? Parasites means those microorganisms which lives in or on other microorganisms or and these microorganisms are harmful. They move from one place to another place. Amoeba and paramecium are the examples of protozoa. What are viruses? Viruses can either be classified as living things and non-living organisms. We can classify them according to their different properties. For example, those viruses which are living organisms are found inside Hosts are those organisms on which other microorganisms depends. To produce themselves, they use host machinery for multiplication and produce themselves. When living viruses are produced, they are not produced in only single number, but they are produced in a large number. Moving on to non-living viruses. Non-living viruses are found outside the host. These viruses are inactive but are produced by taking host cells. Non-living viruses have no activity because they have no cells and they have no cytoplasm.